So today I'm volunteering at the World Golf Hall of Fame, which is what I do. Normally I will be working this simulator here, $85,000. But we're not here for that. We're going to change these struts on a 2013 Santa Fe. And of course, pimp my golf tee, Range Pro Tee. Go to my website, www.rangeprotee.com, and buy yourself a tee. Let's get on with it. We got the car all jacked up and everything. Now we have to gain access to the top of the struts, which are through this little panel here. You'll see there's a cap right there. You just pull that cap off. All right, and then you see the three nuts here, 1, 2, and 3. Those are 14 millimeter nuts. So let's go ahead and take those off. On the passenger side, you can see that you have a lot of access to those nuts. You have a lot of clearance up here. You can get a long socket onto those 14 millimeter nuts. But on the driver's side, there is a bracket up there. Do you see it? And that limits your access to that rear nut. With the 2 aft nuts removed, the 2 in the back removed, so it makes it easier when we get up here again, we're going to go down here and we're going to address this. It's brake line nut, basically holding the brake line to the strut. That is a, 12 millimeter? Go ahead and remove that. So that 12 millimeter brake nut is removed, a bolt, whatever. And now we have to address this nut up here, which is a 17 millimeter. And I got a pretty good extension ready to do this bad boy. Apparently the back of this thing has a 17 millimeter flat spot on it where you can hold it from the back. But it was under tension when I finished taking that nut off. It was under tension and the nut wouldn't back out. So I had to put a bottle jack underneath the bottom here and jack it up probably 2 to 3 inches, you see there, until the tension was relieved and there was no tension at all on the boat. When I had it up this way, it'll go in and out pretty easy. So that way you're not breaking fingers or anything. So the last thing we're gonna tackle here is these 2 large nuts here. 1, 2, I have the 17 millimeter ratchet already ready to take those out. So you get a good perspective of where these are. And these are the last 2 nuts right here that we're gonna have to take off before that thing is free. Well, the top nut, of course, but that's gonna be the last one. So here we go. So now you gotta maneuver this shock. I got the new shock in. Doesn't matter how it aligns down at the bottom because you can spin that bottom one once the top gets aligned. So really you're more worried about aligning the top, but you can see the 3 holes up there. And you'll need somebody to put the nuts in on top when you get them in, because you can't reach all the way up there. The top is snugged down and tightened down, and the next thing you do is you put these 2 bolts in. I went ahead and put those in before I started filming, but that's your next bolts to go in. And then once you get those bolts in, then I'm probably going to compress this down and put this back in there. And lastly, this one goes into here. Well, that brings us to the end of another video. The differences between the two struts was on the driver's side, I didn't have to relieve tension. On the passenger side, I had a jacket up to relieve tension on that torsion bar to pull that bolt out of the strut. Be very careful with that. And also the clearance on the top of the strut on the driver's side was a little bit of a problem. And I mentioned both of those things in the video. The cost savings on this change was approximately $600. The local mechanic was going to charge me $850 to do the struts and the shocks as a whole. I got away with $240-ish worth of parts. Did the change myself, saved $600. I can use that $600 on whatever I want now. Even if you had to buy the tools to do this change, you would still come out ahead, and you'd have a bunch of new tools. So I hope this video helped. I hope there's enough information to help you do it yourself. And as always, if you like the information, go to my website, www.rangeprot.com, and get yourself a Range Pro tee. Get one for your friends. Until next time, peace out.